Hey guys, Don Dreamcast Pop here. This one's gonna be a little different from usual because I first of all, I never have a script, so it doesn't matter. But this one's kind of more like a story time, kind of just talking thing. And with that, I kind of wanted to play a game that I really like, which is Final Fantasy 14. So if you just want to, sit with me for a little bit, talk about this thing, apparently, that I have to make a whole video about. Yeah, if you just want to sit with me for a little bit, enjoy gaming while I talk. So, today, officially, is a year since I had surgery. You may or may not know this, but for the past maybe couple years, I've been, I want to say starting from 2021, I have been fighting for my life against the forces of evil that would reside within my body. Honestly, actually, content warning, surgery shit, I'm not really gonna go into detail. I just kind of want to talk about how it made me feel. But surgery shit, body dysphoria, like I don't know. If you don't want to hear about a guy going through it medically, I would just not watch this one. Come back later. But for me personally, girl, hold on, let me sign up for something so that we actually have something to do. No, my tails, whatever. So for me, I'm gonna do Windurst. Why not? I've been playing Final Fantasy 11 too, so this now Alliance Raid really means something to me, so I would like to play it. But anyway, so from 2021 to last year, I had been suffering from these giant ass fibroids that basically just deformed my body. They were huge. They took they just took up a large chunk of my body. And because of that, I was unable to really eat, sleep, do anything. My periods were horribly heavy. All of these things. For a while, it got to the point where I was just like, fuck it, put an IUD in there. And it stopped everything for a little bit. To the point that the fibroids themselves stopped growing. And it, for the most part, it was kind of sticking a band-aid onto, like wherever you get your arm amputated. Because, like, as soon as it had a chance, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. It was slower, but it was getting bigger and bigger. So at some point, I had to be like, hey, maybe I should probably get this taken care of or something. But, and this is the crazy part. Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't you think, just getting rid of the thing? Tell me how it took 2 years to get it all situated. I had been trying to get surgery, get doctor's visits, get everything. Not even surgery, actually. Just doctor's visits for upwards of a year, 2 years. To just finally talk to somebody about it. It got to the point where I was going to the hospital almost monthly because of these fibroids, like pressing up against all of my other organs. I could not function because this thing was like pressing up against everything. And it wasn't until I had a rider in my car. I do Uber. I had a rider in my car, and she talked about how she had put off the surgery out of fear, just on her part. She was just scared. She put it off, and it like twisted a bunch of her organs. And she basically was just like, if this is happening to you, do not hesitate. And eventually I had to start advocating for myself. I had to just actually be there for myself. So I started talking to doctors incessantly, actually. I got annoying, I have to be honest with you. On the phone, walking into offices to talk to people. Finally, the end of 2024, they were like, you know what? Let's go ahead and start making moves. And just before we were starting to make moves, I was in the hospital. The beginning of December, I was in the hospital. I had apparently gotten a lot of infections, and it was all because of those fibroids in my fucking uterus. And then, God bless, thank the Lord, they let me out. I got to enjoy Christmas with my family. And then January of 2025, I was back in that damn hospital. Like clockwork. I was happy to be out for the holidays, but they put me right back in. And from that whole beginning of the year, hell on earth. Not only was I doing a bunch of like doctor's appointments, gynecology appointments, all this stuff, I had to basically talk to every single person on the team, do all this stuff. And then on top of that, I was traveling. I went to visit a friend at the beginning of the year. Oh, time elapsed. Oh shit, somebody left. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, here I come. But I went to visit a friend. I was doing all this stuff. Oh shit. Okay. Hey. Meowdy. Anyway, I was doing all this shit trying to like figure out like how to get started. And then on top of that, the thing decided, oh, let's go ahead and make your periods the worst thing ever. I was bleeding for months straight. It was really bad. And like I literally could not function anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. So eventually, oh girl, not me bleeding. So eventually I had to say it's over. Like, we have to do this now. Of course, my mom came in with the boo-hooing, just like, you can't, is there another way? You don't have to get rid of your uterus, all this other stuff. But to be honest, if they were able to just take out the fibroids, my uterus would have been deformed and basically destroyed. There was no coming back. They took too long. Maybe I took too long, but I don't know. I was very annoying. I don't know how it took too long for me, but it was too far gone. So eventually we went into surgery. That's how it worked. Some background information about me, in case you didn't know. I am not a woman. I just happened to be born with a uterus. It was very scary that they gave me one. I had to call them back. It's just like how I have a deformed kidney as well. They just gave me one. I live with it. It is what it is. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to get one. They gave me one anyway. And a lot of my like discomfort with my body had a lot to do with my period. So while it was the prospect of surgery enough was scary, but I wasn't so scared that I wasn't willing to do something that would actively make my life better. Like, I don't really think the doctors knew. I mean, I divulged it that I wasn't exactly a woman. And, you know, I got a lot of support. But there was also this kind of thing where it's like, I feel like they're also ignoring it. Because when I think about it, they didn't have to do anything. In fact, they could have denied me. But because it's such a procedure that, like, a lot of women go through that procedure, it's an unfortunate thing, especially if they wanted kids. Fibroids don't fucking play. It's really bad. But it's a procedure that a lot of women get. So they kind of just took it like that, in my opinion. Where it's just like, oh, this is just a woman having that surgery that might, you know, save her life, is essentially what they took it as. But they knew. And, you know, it was crazy, especially that hospital. In Florida, no less. They were just like, hey, you know, if you ever want to look into transitioning, I mean, we could hook you up. And it's like, nah. This is my personal thing. I am so gender neutral in everything that it's like, this is crazy to me, but just getting rid of my periods and the cause of all of my problems was enough for me. I am perfectly comfortable in my gender. I am perfectly comfortable in what I'm doing. I like my body a lot more now than when I had this giant thing trying to kill me. And honestly, I'm just okay. I'm very okay. I don't care how people see me. I already know who I am. I already know what I do. So further transition, that's not in my stars. That's my personal truth. Nobody else's. Do not come in here and be like, oh, well, Dawn didn't have to transition further. Why does everybody else do it? No. Fuck you, first of all. If you're ever thinking that, fuck you. Because if somebody needs to transition further in order to get to where they are, where they're comfortable with their body, that's none of your fucking business. You respect that, and it's as simple as that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that because that's how I feel. So, if there's a trans person watching this right now, if someone ever tells you that, oh, why do you have to do this? Tell them to go fuck themselves. It's as simple as that. Girl, not me getting hit by the lasers. Whatever. Oh! Why am I zoomed in? Okay, whatever. So, back to the story. I did get surgery. Harrowing. Terrifying what happened. And the funny thing is, for the surgeon, for everybody else involved, that wasn't me, it was totally fine. It was a perfect surgery. Everything went fine. There was no issues. My uterus came right out. They took everything except for the eggs, which I was okay with. You know, I wasn't supposed to have them, but you know, I was kind of fond of them, so I kept them. A lot of good hacks on that one, where I no longer have to worry about cervical cancer. Actually, I don't have to worry about a lot of cancers now. And because my eggs are still there, and they have nowhere to go, and they're not doing anything, I don't have to go through menopause, apparently. I'll have to double check, but I don't have to go through menopause because my eggs aren't removed. If I had removed my eggs, they would have put me into early menopause, which would have sucked. And I bet my mom would not have appreciated me going through the same thing she was going through at the same time. I don't know why I'm talking my mom's business. I'm sorry to my mom. I hope she never sees this. But I found that I got lucky with a lot of things. I got lucky with the surgeons. I got lucky with the hospital. Everything. Because this could have been so much harder. Because, especially if I did it this year, in 2026, this would have been so much harder. Like, I just got lucky in 2025. Got everything done, got everything taken care of, did all my doctor's visits. They told me, oh, you never have to go to a gynecologist again. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. But nope. I really don't. I'm very blessed. I'm very happy with how that turned out. But yeah, so as I was saying about it being harrowing, the surgery, I was not scared of anything else on the surgery except for being put to sleep. That scared me so much because I watched a video by Jacob Geller. You know him on YouTube. And he made a whole video about like people going to sleep and suddenly they're not in their bodies anymore. They're not the same. They're not the same person anymore. And for whatever, that freaks me out. It just freaks me out. And then on top of that, I was thinking about at the time how Chris, my cat, if you don't know him, I lost my cat in 2023, and we couldn't save him. There was nothing we could do. He ended up having to be put to sleep, and I just remember seeing him, watching him go to sleep, and then realizing that he wasn't going to wake up again. And that terrified me to no end. And like at the end of the day, really sad, still terrifying to me, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know why, after having done it, I don't know why I felt like I wasn't gonna wake up. Like, it was gonna always be an issue where, oh, not this. Okay, never mind, we're so back. I don't know why I thought it would be an issue about me getting up. Even my mom was like, your problem isn't getting up. Your problem is like what comes after. Surgery is a hell of a thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I only care about the fact I'm going to bed. Scary to me. They put me in a little room to prepare. Got into the little jammies they give you for free. They they set me up with anti-anxiety medication, actually, so that I would go in, because boy was I anxious. That is not a joke. I was very, very anxious. I didn't even ask for it. They were just like, yo, go ahead, we'll go ahead and get this up for you, don't worry about it. God, you know what it is. I was just going through the motions. But we were just like doing everything we need to do. They told us, hey, here's some medication, come on in. I was chill, actually. It was kind of scary how chill I was, because I was like, okay, damn, that whatever that thing is, it hits. But I was not again. Whatever. But yeah, I was super chill, and I went in. They tied up my hair. They put a little like silver cap. Like, it was like a cap that like reflected. I don't know what happened. It was just not the cap I came in with. And I ended up like sitting in the bed, scared, horrified, but still very chill. And they looked at me. I was on the bed. They were just like, hey, do you want to listen to some music? We got Spotify. And I was like, oh, okay. Already kind of chill, very chill. So I was just like, yeah, go ahead and put on Persona 3. They have an OST. You gotta get that going. And then they put it on. They set it up. Girl, where am I going? They set it up, and I was just like, okay. And as soon as Burn My Dread hit, I was gone. It was like, do you know those oh cool. Do you know those RPGs where when you hit an enemy, it swirls and goes like that? That happened to me in real life. I don't know how to emphasize this enough. It literally happened. I Burn My Dread hit, and it was just swirls, and I was just awake. Like, I wasn't awake. I was still very much like out of it, but all of a sudden somebody was like talking to me, and they were like, hey, how are you doing? Everything went well, like stuff like that. And I was just like, huh? What? For some reason. Actually, I know the reason. I just kept being like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom? Hey, can I go to the bathroom? And I kept saying that. And they were like, you are going to the bathroom. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not going to the bathroom. I was going to the bathroom, just in a very specific way. And it was scary. I keep saying that. I didn't like it. So I was just like, can I go? Like, over and over again. Even when they told me I was already going to the bathroom, I just kept being like, can I go to the bathroom? That was my stupid thing when you wake up from surgery. Everybody gets one. When you go into surgery, you say one stupid thing. That was mine. So we got back to my room. I stayed one night, and they said, go ahead. My mom, she worked immediately to start getting me used to walking, getting me used to getting to the bathroom, like stuff like that, which you're supposed to do. Like, immediately after surgery, you need to start walking. And mind you, they cut open my abdomen. They cut open that part of my body. And I was expected to get up and move. They gave me like a day of rest, and then the rest of that second day was me getting up and moving. And I always found it funny because, like I said before, I was in the hospital twice at the end of the year of 2024. And they said to me, I couldn't go home for 2 weeks because I had so many infections. I could not go home for 2 weeks. And I was starting to miss home. Mind you, everything was Christmas at the time. Ooh, I'll get her. Anyway. But, because of that, I was just like, now there's just no way that you cut me all the way open like a fucking chicken, and you said, you know what, go ahead and go home. They told me to go home. Girl, not this. But They told me to go home after major surgery like that. Not because they're inconsiderate, but they're just like, you don't need to be here the whole time. You're good. You're okay. I just found it funny because it's like I had fevers and it kept me in the hospital for 2 weeks, but I got cut open and it's like, no, you're ready to go. So yeah, I just accepted that. Recovery was a bitch because I basically work to live. It's not a live to work situation. Oh, it's over for me. It's over for me. No, it's not. So I wasn't able to work for about 2 months, 2.5 months actually, because they said I wasn't allowed to drive, which is fair, you know. Got to make sure I can do that without getting hurt. It was a lot of recovery where I was just like, not really recovery, but like rehabilitation. I was trying to like get used to walking again, get used to sitting again. And you know, the thing that I regret about the most of that is like, I missed the summer. I missed all the summer. I wanted to go swimming and they wouldn't let me go swimming because I wasn't allowed. I just wasn't allowed to go swimming because of the surgery. And for whatever reason, that made me so sad. But honestly, I could probably use this year to go swimming now, officially. So I don't know why I'm so upset about it. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I'm able to go swimming this year, so that's all that matters. I'm here to go swimming this year. That's what makes me happy. Like, the point of all this is that I'm happy. Like, where I'm at right now. I'm so thankful that I was able to get this surgery. I'm so thankful that I was able to survive it. Which, again, that was never an issue. That was never going to be a problem. But, you know me. I'm always worried about shit. But I'm just happy I was there. And that I got it done. And that it wasn't as much of an issue as it could have been. And I was just so, like, I keep saying this, I was so blessed. Because this could have gone so much worse. This could have gone so much harder. And because it's all over now. And it's been a year. And I've recovered. I've done what I needed to do. I'm back at work. I'm doing all this stuff. It kind of just made everything... It put things in perspective for me. It definitely made me realize that I need to be getting myself out there. Not as like, oh, I should be at the club. No, I mean like actively trying to create, trying to put things together, be with my friends and loved ones. Like, that should always be my priority. So, in conclusion... Thank you, hashtag thank you to the surgeons who set me up real good. Appreciate it. Not this, not this, not this, not this. Thank you to the surgeons who set me up, changed my life, made me realize who I am. Cause seriously, no, after the surgery, I realized I'm good. I don't need anything else with that. I will try not to be in surgery for as long as I can muster. Even though it's completely safe, it is completely safe. Like, they work on that shit. They practice that shit. Not this. They practice. So obviously it's like, they know what they're doing. But even then, I'm a worrywart. I'm anxious. It is the way it is. But this is also, you know, I'm taking one. It is what it is. I'm taking one. Not this! Man. I'm happy that I could, you know, be here and laugh with my friends and do what I need to do. That was the point of this. I hope you didn't mind me yapping. I enjoyed yapping. And I enjoyed being distracted a little bit. So, thanks for watching. You're not gonna see the end of it, because guess what? It's spoilers. Haha. What if you end up playing Final Fantasy 14? I don't want to spoil you, so we're not doing that. Not this. Not this. Not this. Not this. Okay, here we go. Bye.